You're welcome once again to the third segment of this presentation, where I'm actually doing enough explanations as to why the community coins actually went down in prices. I'm trying to show you where the blames are supposed to be apportioned. Now, I've shown you exactly in the second segment the blame that is attributed to the members of the community, and I equally showed you the blame that was attributed to the company. The company paid a lot of commissions in terms of these same community coins. And that went a long way to increase the supply of these community coins in the market. The consequence, a price drop, because we know the price of anything which is sellable is given by the demand for it divided by the supply. So if the supply is very high against a weak demand, what happens to the price? The price naturally has to fall. Now, here is something I still want everybody to understand in all of this as to why Alex should not be blamed. Where Alex is supposed to be thrown blames at, I've already explained, because he paid all of these commissions using the same coins. That one, I, who is actually speaking, is actually blaming the company for doing that. I actually blame the company for doing that. Just like other people who are crypto literates are equally joining me to blame the company also for doing that. The company also, thank God, has admitted times with that number that yes, that is something that they did, but they realized in the long run that it was backfiring. So that is also how they contributed unknowingly to bringing down the price of the coins, those community coins in the market. But 90% contribution of that was done by members of the community through, the various ways I did explain, especially in the second segment. Another remark, another very important point I'll have to make here, also particularly for the benefit of, those who have not, in fact, those who don't really have sufficient experience when it comes to yield farming or so cryptocurrencies as a whole. Let me say in cryptocurrencies as a whole. This is what you also need to understand. A company that is responsible or that owns a particular digital asset, which it is making available to, traders in the market. For instance, let me use the case of Alex. PLC, PLCU, PLCU, X, PLCU Classics. Alex never, I say this, Alex never for once told anybody that if you invest in my business, for instance, if you purchase a farm and you load it with coins and you are producing coins, Alex never told anybody that I am going to be paying you monthly in dollars or in euros or in your local currency, maybe Ghana cedis, South African rands, franc CFA. Alex never told anybody. So if somebody spoke to you about the business and you came and joined the business, you bought a package, you bought coins, you loaded. Alex never said anywhere that you are going to be paid in franc CFA. If anybody told you that, know that the person who prospected you is the one who told you that. And that information was not coming from the company. Alex never for once said his responsibility is to pay anybody in dollars, let alone paying the person using the person's, country's fiat currency. He never said that. And no cryptocurrency company ever says that. If any cryptocurrency, in fact, any company that owns a cryptocurrency never tells any member of his community that they are going to pay such a community member using dollars or using franc CFA or using Great British Pound or any other international fiat currency. No cryptocurrency company that owns a coin of its own or a digital asset of its own makes such promises. None. Now, what they make available to you is their own product, the product that is created by them, the product that they themselves have developed. That is what they give to the members of the community. They don't give you the end, currency of it. They give you their product. It is now left for you to convert the product which they have given to you to your own currency, to a currency of your choice. That is what all of those, tradable cryptocurrencies are pegged to international fiat currencies, usually the US dollars, for instance, or euros. So they have to be pegged to such. That is the only way you can be able to pass. In fact, for instance, let me say the case of Ultima token, which is pegged to the US dollar in terms of USDT. That's the Theta coin. So it is linked directly to the US dollars passing through the Theta coin. because of how stable it is. So you have to convert it to such an international fiat currency. Once you now have such an international fiat currency, you can now, maybe through banking transactions, be able to convert it to your own local currency. That one, you are no longer in the crypto space. You are now in the fiat space. So you can convert any fiat money to another fiat money. But still in the crypto space, you need a bridge, first of all, to move from the crypto space into the fiat space. And you can only do that through one of the international fiat currencies to which that particular digital asset is pegged to, without which it is impossible for you to convert any crypto asset directly to your own local fiat currency. It doesn't work anywhere like that in the world. It doesn't. So there is no way such a digital asset company will be promising you that if you invest with us, whatever the nature of the investment, we are going to be paying you using fiat currency. No company, no cryptocurrency company does that. Coming back to the case of Alex. Alex says, this is a technology I'm putting at your disposal. If you purchase a farm, you purchase coins, you put inside. Every month, this is the quantity of coins that your farm is going to be producing. And that has never changed. That condition was never for once violated. So you can also blame Alex's company for that, because there is nobody who can show me any proof that there was a particular month that the person was expecting to receive a certain quantity of coins, be it PLCU X or PLCU or PLCU Classic or PLC, and the person never received that exact quantity of coins. Nobody can tell me that. Everybody received the quantity of coins they were meant to receive on monthly basis. But Alex never told anybody that if you receive this quantity of coins, this is exactly the quantity of dollars that this your quantity of coins is going to attract. No, he gives you the quantity of coins. It is not left for you to go to the market and sell off the coins, and then you get the fiat equivalents to those coins. Alex has no business in that area. It is very simple. It is not only in the domain of cryptocurrency. It happens everywhere, even with conventional businesses. For instance, take the case of a tomato farmer. Somebody who is farming tomatoes. When he harvests his tomatoes, there is somebody who meets him probably on the farm to purchase the tomatoes from him. He is actually the person supplying the market with the tomatoes. He has actually grown the tomatoes. He has harvested them and sold off to somebody. In our local area, we refer to them as buy and sellers. Somebody who purchased the tomatoes from this farmer. It is now the responsibility of this person who has purchased the tomatoes from the farmer to go and convert the tomatoes in a certain market for what? For physical money. So if, for instance, you purchase one basket of tomatoes from the tomato farmer at, let's say, $1,000. It's just an example I'm using. If you spend $1,000 to buy each basket of tomatoes from the tomato farmer, and let's say you've eventually spent up to $10,000 to buy 10 baskets of tomatoes. If you now carry these tomatoes to any, in fact, it's your responsibility to go to any market of your choice. It is not the business of the tomato farmer to know which market you want to go and do the sales. Go to any market of your choice, go and sell. So if you eventually go to a particular market and you end up selling a basket of tomatoes for just $500, maybe because things did not work in that market, maybe there were too many tomatoes on that market, and it happens that the price of the tomatoes came down, and you're only able to sell yours at $500. Is it the fault of the tomato farmer? Are you going to say that you are going to go back to the tomato farmer to hold him hostage, to say you sold me tomatoes at this price? Now, I bought them, I went to the market, I was unable to sell, even at the same price. I was able to sell for something lower than that, so I'm losing. So please, you have to give back my money. Does it happen like that? It doesn't. It is no longer the business of the tomato farmer to know exactly at what price rate you want to go and sell your tomatoes. He has already sold you the tomato. He didn't oblige you, first of all, in the first place, to come and buy tomatoes from him. He only said he's selling tomatoes at a particular price. And he told you that if you do your business well, there's a possibility for you to sell those tomatoes at higher rates and you make more money for yourself. But he is not to be blamed. If you happen to sell off your tomatoes and you're unable to make profit from it, you don't go back to the tomato farmer. It is the same thing that happens in crypto. Every cryptocurrency company gives you their coins or their digital assets. You buy from them. How you are supposed to convert it or how you are supposed to sell to make fiat money is no longer their business. Unfortunately, this is something many people don't understand. That's why people are always going back to Alex, blaming Alex. Oh, this and that. You gave us something that is worthless in the market. It is not Alex's business. He said, buy a farm you bought. Buy coins, load inside. The farm will be producing new coins for you. And that's exactly what was happening. There's nobody who was not receiving new coins produced to the person by the farm he or she purchased. Everybody was receiving all the coins that they were supposed to get. You now took the coins, went to the market. You were unable to convert them for the amount of money that you were expecting. So how do you go blaming the company for that? Was it the company selling on your behalf? Were you not the person who went to the market and sold them at the price at which you sold? Did the company oblige you to sell at that price? No. It is entirely your business. You are the person doing it. So why are you always running back to the company to go and blame the company for? Did the company oblige you to come and buy the farm and load it? No. The company came up with a good product that could actually make you, harvest a lot of money from it, provided you knew exactly how to go about it. But unfortunately, since the market is something where, it's something that has to do with so many people involved, buyers and sellers, anything can happen in that market at any time. Now, where there is a difference between that tomato seller and a cryptocurrency company, for instance, that is issuing out those coins, let me now show you where the difference is. The person who is cultivating the tomatoes, it is not his responsibility to create a market where you are supposed to go and sell the tomatoes. But in the context of cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency company, it is his responsibility, it is the responsibility of the cryptocurrency company to search for the market or to bring the market where you can possibly sell the assets that the cryptocurrency company is selling to you or is giving to you. So it is their responsibility to put in place those markets. That's why every cryptocurrency company must be able to list its cryptocurrencies on several markets, meaning that they are the ones creating those markets. That will not permit you to go and sell those products there. So if you want to blame such a cryptocurrency company, you can also blame them from the angle of those markets. Maybe you can also go to the extent of blaming Alex for not listing the cryptocurrency on so many exchanges. Because if you had gone to so many exchanges, then probably more people on those exchanges would have known about those cryptocurrencies and would have been running in also to get the same cryptocurrencies through what? Purchase of their farms and purchase of those coins from you people who are already selling them on the market so as to load their own farms. Even if they did that, time shall eventually come still where almost all of those markets would have attracted those people to invest in. They too would have eventually become what? Producers of the same coin, which means at some point they will definitely have to still become a time when there will be so many producers of the coin against a small demand. So the company needed to improve on its ecosystem by putting in place products and services, which is what they actually did, but they were not performing well because those products and services were running on the old blockchain. So the company also had to do a lot of work in that area, which is exactly what it has done now by putting in place what? A smart blockchain. So I hope this is well understood. So like I said earlier on, with a farming method at the beginning, it is very lucrative because you have a fewer number of people involved. But as the number of people getting on board is increasing, the number of coins also that are being produced through minting also is increasing, which means the market gradually gets saturated with coins. What was the consequence? Or what is usually the consequence in such a situation? A price drop. So as the company was able to put in place a smart blockchain, but just before that smart blockchain came, generally in cryptocurrencies, this one, let me say this one, generally speaking, 100 people can invest in a cryptocurrency. Only 5% will make it big in that cryptocurrency. The rest of the 95 will lose money in that cryptocurrency. Why is it so? With the context of PLC, PLCU, PLCU Classic, this is exactly what happens. When the prices actually collapse in all of this, because of the explanations I've given, as part of the solution, the company still sat again and said, okay, these people have made mistakes also in the market by selling at prices they were not supposed to sell. Even when I created restrictions on the exchange on the number of coins that people could sell in a day, even at that, it still did not solve anything. And then the company also understood that he equally contributed this quarter through the commission that he was also paying in terms of the same community coins. All of that contributed to bring down the price. So now that the smart coin, or rather the smart blockchain, is now in place, what happened? The company now obliged everybody to do what? To swap their coins. So much so that it shouldn't look like, you know, they have actually lost all the money that they invested on these community coins. So it now obliged everybody to swap their coins. But just before telling you exactly how that swapping was done, generally in cryptocurrencies, when you hear that, I told you earlier on that on this H, it means that the cryptocurrency in question is gaining value. On this H, it means that the cryptocurrency is losing value. Now, what does that mean? It simply tells you that in the example I used earlier on, I said you can have 100 people invest in a cryptocurrency company or invest on a particular cryptocurrency. Only 5 will make money and 95 will lose money. Why is it so? It's simply because of this H. You realize that when the price of the digital asset is dropping down, what happens? Those who have the digital asset will be gripped by panic. Out of fear, they will just join the market to sell off their product because they think that the price of the product can go down to 0. So since they are selling out of fear, it simply means that the digital assets that they have in their hands, they are actually transferring those digital assets to other people at cheaper rates, meaning that the 95% of people who have those digital assets, they are selling those digital assets at giveaway prices. But if they are selling those digital assets, to who are they selling? They are selling them to who? To 5%. Meaning that 5% of people are ready to buy the digital assets from the rest of the 95% who are willing to sell them off to them at cheaper rates. That is why 95% of people always lose money and only 5% of the people make money. That usually happens on this descending age because people sell off their assets at giveaway rates because of panic since the price goes down. So this one will simply do what? They will transfer all their assets to this 5%. So only 5% of the people will buy all the assets of the 95% of the people. Now, when the digital asset starts rising again in value, when it's rising in value, what happens? This 95% not having the digital assets again, they will realize that the price of that digital asset is rising again. And that digital asset is owned by just 5%. So this 5% of the people will come back to the market. This 95% of the people will come back looking for this same asset that is now in the hands of just 5%. So they will come and impose a huge demand on that same asset. So because of that huge demand imposed on this asset, that's what makes the price of the asset to do what? To keep moving upward again. So when the price is moving upward, it means that a huge number of people are demanding for that particular asset. And the asset is in the hands of a small number of people. So this 5% of the community are the ones, in fact, it's actually the ones selling the digital asset to these people, and they sell it at a higher price to these people. So when you see the price moving upward, it means that 5% is selling back to 95%. That's why only 5% of most people who do trading in the market of cryptocurrencies always have good impressions to give out, who are always happy, who always make money, against a majority of the people who are always having very bad impressions about cryptocurrency. Why? Because most of them usually sell off during this drop down period out of inexperience. It is inexperience that pushes them to do that, as well as what? Sentiments. So the ideal situation should be that when you buy an asset which is selling at this price, if you buy it here, sell it off when the price would have grown up to a higher level. So at this higher level, you should sell it off. But if the price rather drops down to a level as low as this, if you sell here, you will lose money. This is the right place to buy. This is where to sell. If you rather choose to sell here, you lose money because you are selling at a price which is lower than the price at which you bought. So that is very important. So like I said earlier on, the company trying to profile a solution for what had already happened now didn't want to make members of the community to think that they had lost their money when they invested with PLC, PLCU, Classic, PLCU, and PLCUX. That was why now obliged everybody to swap their coins to the smart coin. Why? Because the company wanted to move out of the old blockchain to the new blockchain, which is called the smart blockchain now. Because on this smart blockchain, the company can be able to run all its products and services, which they couldn't run using the old blockchain. And so, members of the previous community, the farming community, have to migrate to this new blockchain system with the products that they have. Unfortunately, these products, these community coins, can only operate on an algorithm. The algorithm on which they were designed is an algorithm that works only with the old blockchain system. meaning that they can only operate with the old blockchain system. But now the company doesn't want to do anything again with the old blockchain system. It wants to be using its new blockchain system, which is the smart blockchain. So what would these people now be able to do with these old products that can only function on the old blockchain? That was why the company came with the swapping. The company now said on the new blockchain, the cryptocurrency that will be used there is what they call the smart coin. But now people have PLC, PLCU Classic, and the rest. How then does it mean that we'll have to go and spend money again to buy smart coin? The company said no. Instead of me, that's the company says, instead of it selling smart coins to these old community members, it would rather put in place a mechanism whereby, in fact, it's a central unit. That central unit is called a swapping unit. That unit is a certain unit whereby the company says, if you bring a certain quantity of your PLCs to that unit will collect your PLCs and then give you in exchange smart coins, so that you can use those smart coins corresponding to the number of PLCs that you're coming from here with, so that you can operate well on the new blockchain. Same thing happens to those who have a PLCU Classic now. Those who have PLCU and PLCU X. That simply means for any quantity that you have, bring to that central unit. The central unit will collect them and give you the equivalence of that in terms of smart coins. So those smart coins will be given to you for free. They will simply exchange them through what we call a swapping unit. So that swapping unit or swapping simply means bring what you have now, which is only useful in the old system, bring it to us, we will collect it, destroy it, and then give you something which you can make use of on the new system. That's the meaning of you swapping your community coin. So you swap your PLCs for what? For smart coins, meaning the company is taking the PLCs from you and giving you in exchange what we call smart coins. But they don't give you all the smart coins at once. They give you over a distributed period of either 3 years or 5 years. You'll be getting a certain quantity every month over 3 years or over 5 years. Why is the company doing that? The company is doing that simply because if you bring, let's say, 10,000 PLC coins, and the company gives you the equivalents, 10,000, maybe 10,000 smart coins, even though the company has made in such a way that they give you more coins than the actual quantity that you were normally supposed to get for bringing a certain quantity of this community coins. So the company even helps you by giving you more. But the company says if they give you the totality of those coins, if they put all of them in your hands, the problem is that you will take all of them to the market to go and sell. And if everybody, let's say in a community of 2.8 million, if everybody swaps and they give smart coins, you know, they give the entire quantity that each person is supposed to get, like the entire 2.8 million people collect all of those smart coins and go to the market with at the same time, what will happen? We will still be faced with the same problem that we are facing with the price of these community coins, because the market will be too saturated with those smart coins. And how many people will be there to buy those smart coins? The demand for the smart coin is still weak. It's still very weak. So if you create a huge supply of the smart coins in the market against a very weak demand, what do you think will happen to the price? You will destroy the price. The price will collapse. That's why the company says, no, it is true. You are entitled to this quantity of smart coins per the number of community coins you have swapped. But we are going to be giving you these smart coins gradually in little bits, so that we don't put everything in your hands and then you take them to the market and then you saturate the market. The price will come down and we'll still keep on complaining, you know, just like we are complaining with the case of the price of these community coins. So that's the simple reason. Now, so like I said, what is the major role? What are the responsibilities that the company or Alex through his company is supposed to play that will affect our coins positively? Because the company has a role to play, we also have a role to play in making sure that the price of the coins remain upward or on the upward trend. Now, these are the responsibilities that the company has. First, the company has as major responsibility to provide you with the coin. First of all, I already said this, that the company's responsibility is to give you its own coin, the coin that it owns, which is what? In this case, the smart coin, we're not talking about smart coin. We're no longer talking about PLC, PLCU Classic. That is all gone. I've said those who own that, they are supposed to swap their coins and get what? Smart coins. So the coins we are going to be talking about henceforth, there are two in number. First is a smart coin. The second one, which is not a coin, is a cryptocurrency, but not a coin, owned by the same company, which is called Ultima token. It is called a token, not a coin, because the smart blockchain is owned by the smart coin. The Ultima token does not own a coin. And any cryptocurrency, or rather, does not own a blockchain. Any cryptocurrency that doesn't own a blockchain of its own is referred to as a token, especially if it is operating on another coin's own blockchain or on a blockchain which is not owned by it. So it adopts the name token. That's just the difference. Otherwise, they are all cryptocurrencies. They play the same role. So Alex's responsibility was to give you minting farms and for those farms to produce more coins to you. That was exactly what he did during that era. But now we are no longer talking about that. Secondly, the second responsibility that he has is to build a strong ecosystem around the coins that he has made available. If he gave us PLC, PLC-U, PLC-UX, or the smart coin which we are talking about, he has as major responsibility to build an ecosystem around. Being an ecosystem around means he has to develop products and services that people can be able to buy or pay for using this particular coin. That's the only way this coin can be useful. That's the only way this particular coin can attract a huge demand. And when that demand is put on it, then those of us who have the coin can have the possibility to sell at higher prices and make more money for ourselves. So he needs to create that market. So he has the responsibility to create such a market. And you can only create a market using what? Products and services. He also has the responsibility to do what? To advertise the coin on other exchange markets. You will never hear that it's a community that is going to launch this company's coin on a particular exchange. No, it is Alex and his team that have that responsibility to list the coin on exchange market. For instance, Coinsbit, Gate.io, Mexi, CoinW, CoinStore, and many others, with Binance in view and many others. So it is the responsibility of the company to do that. Because once it lists the assets on those markets, then it gives us the possibility also who own these assets to go there and sell. Because without any market, then it's useless getting a product. Otherwise, where are you going to sell it? Doesn't make any sense. So that's also one of his responsibilities. Now, the next responsibility that it has got is to provide us with new solutions. Each time the community is going through some difficulties, it is the responsibility of the company to think out of the box, to bring solutions that will help us out of such situations. Now, this panel led us to the dawn of a new era in the Platinworld, which is that of replacing farming with another business model, which is referred to as the decentralized finance, that has at its center what we call a currency, which goes by the name Ultima token. So instead of asking people to buy farms, load them with coins to be producing more of those coins, we have already, in fact, we've already seen that one of the major shortcomings with that method of permitting people to get coins is the fact that over time, many people will become producers of such coins. They will saturate the market with such coins. And the consequence is that the price of those kind of assets will definitely go down. So in fact, farming is only lucrative at the beginning of such a project. Over time, it starts backfiring. It's not good. So Alex has now replaced that business model with a new one, which is called Defi-U. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. That has at its center a currency which animates that particular ecosystem. And that currency is called the Ultima token, which is abbreviated U, that you can see here. Now, just to give you in summary, the principal mission of this company is to put in place a digital currency. That is the sole objective of this company. So it tried putting in place a digital currency, which is going to be the biggest and well-known, that has the most powerful ecosystem in the whole world. That has always been his main objective. He tried to make that happen with PLC. It didn't work. He tried with PLC-U, PLC-UX, all of those ones. It didn't work. Now that we have a smart blockchain, he wants to make that work with what? With smart coin and the Ultima token. The Ultima token is going to be used as the currency that is, in fact, that is actually made use of by community members to buy its products and services. Then the smart coin is going to be used as gas fee. So for every transaction that is taking place on its smart blockchain, there is a gas fee payment that must be done, just like it happens with the Ethereum network. You don't do anything on the Ethereum blockchain without a gas fee, without you burning gas fee. That simply is like more or less what we call a transaction fee. For the context of a bank, those who are involved in banking system, you don't do any transaction in the bank without a fee, or what we call charges or taxes that you have to pay on every transaction, whether it's money you are sending to somebody or whatever it is you are doing, borrowing money from the bank or whatever. So in cryptocurrency, it's the same thing. So Alex has obliged, he has made it in such a way that all the transaction fees are to be paid exclusively using what? Smart coins. But the purchases of products and services will be done using what? Ultima tokens. And it is worthy to mention that we are in the market for more than 7 years now, because we saw the light of day in the year 2016. And when I say we, I'm referring to the company as a matter of fact. The company over the years has been able to show proof of a unique concept, has been able to show proof of a unique business model, has been able to show proof of a unique technology, and of course, has been able to show proof of utility. And this utility is seen through the number of products and services that can be gotten using these particular digital assets. Though it has not actually been well demonstrated, especially in the era of farming, because of the limitations that the company noticed with the old blockchain. But that is going to be fully implemented or fully, shown or exhibited with the presence of the smart blockchain, which we have right now. So it is also worthy to mention that coming from the old community means that farming area already had a population or a community that spans beyond 2.8 million users globally. Now, how to get started with the ultimate Defi-U? Very simple. There are a few steps that you need to follow. But just before you get into fulfilling those steps, it is worthy to mention also that right now we have 4 main delegated liquidity pools. If you want to understand what a delegated liquidity pool is and the reason why we have up to 4 right now, do check on the video on this YouTube channel in which I actually did an extensive explanation on the advantages and the inconveniences of each of these delegated liquidity pools. The reason why we have even up to 4 right now, that explanation is done in that particular video. So just search for it. If you stumble on it, that video is actually talking about the 4 delegated liquidity pools that we have right now, notably the VIP, the Unity, the Gold, and the business pools, delegated liquidity pools. So go and watch that particular video. You understand everything there is for you to understand regarding these delegated liquidity pools. So it is not actually left for me to advise you on which of the pools to make a choice to belong to. As a matter of fact, there are only 3 pools that you can actually decide to belong to, notably the VIP, the Unity, and the Gold pool. You are not the person to decide to belong to this one. You can only be a member of the business pool on merit. It is not you who decides. So for you to belong here, and of course, it's also worthy to mention that only networkers, you must be a networker to belong to this pool. If you are not a networker, you can never belong to this pool. So to come to this pool, you must be a networker. And through your networking efforts, there is something that will be given to you called business splits. So when you have the business split, you use the business split to connect yourself to the business pool. So if you are not a networker, there is definitely no way you can get those business splits. So it's impossible for you to belong to this pool. So if you were to give me the possibility to recommend, not actually a recommendation per se, but to suggest, it's a suggestion. I would prefer to use the word suggest. If you want me to suggest which of the pool for you to get started with, I will suggest you getting on board this one, but it's not a recommendation. I'm not recommending it because you are actually at liberty to choose which of these pools to belong to. But if you want me to give an opinion on which of them that you can get started with, I will say this. It's not an advice. I'm not advising you on it. It's not a financial advice. Go in for any of these 3 pools. The one that you actually find convenient for you, go on board. But now I can actually suggest you go in for this Gold pool. Why? Because there's a special incentive that has been attached to anybody who purchases any package in this pool, or anybody who decides to get started with this business, through this pool, which I'm going to be showing you in a moment. Now, for you to get started, there are a few steps that you need to fulfill or you need to pass through. The first thing you need to do is to have an account created for you. You need to create an account with this company, which is free, but you have to make use of the referral link of the person who spoke to you about the business. After doing that, you need to purchase. That's if you eventually make up a choice to get started through the Gold pool, which I just, said, if you were to give me the possibility to suggest, I will suggest that particular pool. So you need to get into that pool. You purchase at least a Gold split pack from inside. After that is done, you need to install on your smartphone a certain application, which is known as the smart wallet. So you have to install a smart wallet on your phone. After you are done doing these 3 things, the last but not the least is for you to sit comfortably and relax. Every day you'll be receiving benefits coming from the delegated liquidity pool, that gold pool. That gold pool will be paying you every day a certain quantity of Ultima tokens. So you are going to be receiving Ultima tokens every day for the next 100 years. There is no particular day that you are not going to get those Ultima tokens. You will be paid those Ultima tokens every day through that application. You will receive those Ultima tokens through this app, this smart wallet. They are paid through this smart wallet every day. You will receive a certain fraction every day for the next 100 years. And what is the quantity, or what is the fraction or the quantity of Ultima tokens you'll be receiving every day? I'm going to show you that also in a moment. So how does the entire system work? I mean, this DeFi system that the company has been able to put in place, how does it work in such a way that it is able to pay you these Ultima tokens every blessed day? And you can make use of these Ultima tokens to purchase products and services from this company through a certain website which is known as ultimastore.com. So you can go there, you can purchase a lot of products and services. I'm going to show you some of those products and services also in a moment that you can take advantage of using this Ultima token. And for you to be able to do that, you need to pay transaction fees. And the transaction fees are paid using what? The smart coin, like I mentioned earlier. You can also decide to convert this same Ultima token for other cryptocurrencies. For instance, USDTs, or you trade it for other cryptocurrencies. You must not necessarily make use of, the Ultima token or the smart coin in buying products and services. You can decide to convert it to other cryptocurrencies possible. So these are the two possibilities that you can get to, express the value of your Ultima tokens as well as smart coins, in as much as you're actually an affiliate of this particular company. Now, to understand how all of that works, there's a delegated liquidity pool which is put in place. This delegated liquidity pool is synonymous to a fish pond. Imagine somebody who owns a fish pond. This fish pond can take a certain maximum number of fishes. There's a maximum number of fishes that can be put inside. How do you put these fishes inside? It is either you as the owner of the fish pond to put all the fishes inside, or if you don't have what it takes to put all the fishes inside, you can decide to create shares on this fish pond project. You can decide to sell off some shares. You can tell, look at these people here. They represent members of the community, the population out there. You can tell them that, okay, you have a fish pond project. You have shares that you are selling on this fish pond project. Anybody who wants to belong to this project or who wants to participate in this project must buy a certain number of shares. And in fact, what if I'm the owner of the fish pond project, what I'm going to tell these people is that if you buy shares with my fish pond project or on my fish pond project, I'm going to be giving you a certain quantity of fishes or fractions of a fish. If it's not a full fish, at least I'm going to give you a certain portion of a full fish every day. That's the guarantee I'm giving you, that you are going to get at least fish from me every day for the next 100 years. Whether we are in season for fish or we are out of the season for fish, I guarantee you that every day you're going to be getting, even if it's just a fraction of a fish. But the quantity of fish that you're going to get is a function of the number of shares also that you're going to own on this my fish pond project. And how do you own shares on my fish pond project? By simply contributing a certain number of fishes. Somebody can contribute 1 fish, another person contributes 2, somebody 10, another person 100. But the maximum number of fishes that this fish pond can hold is 100,000. In other words, what am I referring to as fishes in here? Ultima tokens. You have to contribute Ultima tokens inside this delegated liquidity pool. And the number of Ultima tokens that you send in here will represent the number of shares. And shares here, we actually call shares in this case splits. So when I talk about a split, I'm actually referring to as shares. In fact, what I'm referring to is a share if I talk of a split. So what I'm going to say is, when you contribute a certain number of fishes in here, I will issue you a receipt. That receipt is what we call